trip, turn that bitch up.
Hello, y'all. I'm back again. This is your boy Monte. And of course, I have my guest with me here, Alexis.
Yes, or Lex.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, I think one of the things that, like, I wanted to really talk to you about, I wouldn't even say I think, I know,
Hmm.
right? I really wanted you to be able to have an opportunity to talk about yourself.
Hmm.
Because I watched a lot of your videos,
Hmm.
especially your dance videos at most. And one thing I can say that I really admire about you is the fact that when you dance, you put yourself into it.
Thank
So
you.
it makes people feel like they actually really know you, and it makes
Hmm.
people really feel comfortable and connected.
Hmm.
So that's one thing I can appreciate. Um, but I just want people to learn more about you. Like,
Hmm.
tell me who you are, where you came from.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So again, my name is Alexis or Lex. Originally I'm from Buffalo, New York, born and
Mm-hmm.
raised ish, and then I lived in the DMV for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just recently moved out to Atlanta, January 2023.
Period.
So
Period.
pretty much I've been dancing my whole life since I was
Mm-hmm.
8 years old. I started at a performing arts school,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kept dancing
Okay.
throughout high school, college, and all the things. So yeah, I like I said, I went to a performing arts school, so like I
Mm-hmm.
did learn like singing lessons
Mm-hmm.
and playing instruments and stuff like that. But dance was
Mm-hmm.
something that really stuck with me, and throughout
Mm-hmm.
the years, like teens and then just growing up into my adult years, I was like, I think I want to take dance to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what ultimately brought me out here,
Mm-hmm.
the Atlanta black scene.
Yes.
And then there's a lot of different opportunities and things like that out here. So
Mm.
I've definitely been taking advantage of it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Period. Period. Period.
Hmm.
So, what? I guess how did you fall in love with dance? Like,
I love that question.
yeah.
Honestly, like in a sense, like I feel like through my younger years, I was kind
Mm-hmm.
of just doing it for fun. I really didn't think about it as anything else than that.
Mm-hmm.
So as a kid, I feel like I was unknowingly passionate about it because it was something I was growing and I was just, eager to do and I kept
Mm-hmm.
going with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really would say my performing arts school, like it just
Mm-hmm.
opened my eyes to a lot at such a young age and was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, this is so cool. Like this is the
Yeah.
type of schools you see on TV and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
it's really like that, and it just opens the doors for so many different
Yeah.
opportunities artistic wise.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like really, if I haven't gone to that performing arts school so young, I
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't have fell in love with dance. I think I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It maybe would have been something else, but I probably would have still danced, but not in a training professional type of
Mm-hmm.
aspect. So I definitely would say my
Gotcha.
school is where I really just fell in love with dance and learning, like the education. So
Mm-hmm.
I, we were at a school, so it's like we had to watch videos, we had to write
Yeah.
essays, and that is what intrigued me because it was like, oh, this is just
Mm-hmm.
not just a move. Like there's so much
Yeah.
history behind
Yeah.
all of this. So
Yeah.
that's when I really was like, oh, I love this. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
learning about dance, the
Mm-hmm.
history, and all of those things. So yeah.
Mm. So when you're like preparing for a show, because
Hmm.
I know sometimes, like you said, it's not just about movement,
Hmm.
but dancers, child, y'all. I used to think dancing was just like, oh, somebody, got the rhythm, but it's a
Hmm.
whole lot more than
Hmm.
that. You really have to be in tune with your body. You have to trust your body. You have to take care of your body, and like really knowing the story that you're dancing
Hmm.
to. So, what is like your preparation to get ready for a performance?
First and foremost, it's always prayer. Like I always take
Mm,
a moment to myself, like, and I love that question too because it
yeah.
just reminds me of when like I did a lot of the theater dancing. So it
Mm,
was like the stage, the curtains, like
mm,
people introducing the performance, like a
yeah.
matinee type, scenery. So that's kind of
Mm,
where I've come from, and it was
mm,
always like whether I had a moment by myself where I'm just breathing, I'm centering myself, I'm praying, and then me and the girls, we always
Mm-hmm.
grabbed hands and said a
Yep.
prayer right
Mm-hmm.
before. So that's something that's definitely very meaningful for me. But really, just
Mm-hmm.
centering myself
Oh
and
yeah.
knowing like this is what you do. You
Mm-hmm.
love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a purpose and a story behind what you do.
Oh
So
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know, perform
absolutely.
it. So it's always been that for me for sure.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So was there always a moment, or I wouldn't say always, but was there ever a moment to where you felt like giving up? And why?
A lot,
Yeah.
a lot of times throughout
Mm-hmm.
dance. I would say really okay. So I'll just do it like based on like recently in the last 3 years since being here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there were times where I wanted to give up because it was
Mm-hmm.
like one, I'm a new face. Granted, yes, a bunch of new people come here every day,
Yeah.
but for me, I was used to dancing with the same people for multiple years. So it's like I was
Mm-hmm.
always a part of a team, a
Mm-hmm.
company, a
Mm-hmm.
program, or something like that. So it's like a lot of the dance experience I do have is
Mm-hmm.
years built upon with my dance mates. So
Mm-hmm.
coming out here was definitely new because it was like, oh yeah, I don't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, putting myself out there, but there were in something sometimes where I would see like, oh, these auditions are
Mm-hmm.
for a specific type of dancer, or
Yeah.
they're only looking at this type of body type and things like that. So when
Mm-hmm.
it came to like certain standards that they were looking for, it kind of did put me in a space where it was like, dang, I'm probably not good enough, or they
Mm-hmm.
don't want me, or they don't see me. But also I'm not a person like, yes, I will chase after the things that I need and
Yeah.
want, and that God aligns with me, but I don't want to have to overly prove myself to people that I know
Yeah.
that's not even, my
Yeah.
lane.
Yeah.
But I'm learning that now. But throughout
Yeah.
the process of being here, it was a lot of times where I wanted to give up just because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, people aren't seeing me, or
Yeah.
they say I'm good, but I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So it was really that hitting me differently in an industry side of dance
Mm-hmm.
instead of like a school setting and things like
Yeah.
that. Cause it's like, for me, my mind was programmed for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it was challenging definitely, and
Mm-hmm.
now I still do dance and things like that, but I have a different perspective when I want to do certain things. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely coming out here was
A
a
change.
little punch in the throat. It was like, oh, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta tighten up if you really want this.
Yeah.
So it was challenging, and
Yeah.
at times I did take a moment to just sit and not dance or not take class or
Yeah.
recenter myself. But now I
Mm-hmm.
gotta like you asked me, gotta constantly remember why I wanted to dance in the first place and
Yeah.
what is that for me. So
Yeah. So I think a lot of creators, like a lot of creators and a lot of entertainers, like we all go through that to where we
mm-hmm.
feel like we're just not good enough.
Yep.
And it's not even, a lot of times it starts off with like society,
Yep.
um,
Social
in the
media.
industry, yeah, the social media. It's even sometimes the people around you. Like sometimes you can go to an audition and feel like you have it all together,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see somebody else that you feel like is doing better than you, and then now you're like, oh wait a minute, I think I'm not
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fit. So I think a lot of people they go through that. But I've always learned like you have to remind yourself, of course, like you said, of your purpose
Mm-hmm.
and why you're here to do it, and you have to remind yourself that it's like I think for me the one thing that I realize is that it's not really about being better or worse
Mm-hmm.
because honestly there's no such thing.
Nope.
It's really all about can I be able to tell the story the
Mm-hmm.
way how I want to.
Serving your purpose.
Yep,
Exactly.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I've always wanted people to like learn and reframe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do feel like it is a type of, like you said, social media and type of standard that people have when it comes to
Mhm.
anything really that is shining light on somebody.
Oh
Like any
yeah,
type of talent or anything when you
yeah,
have like that, it's always going to be a challenge, a fight,
yeah.
or somebody that you feel like is better than you, and
Hmm.
it's a lot. I feel like for me, I just didn't expect it to be like that for dance. I don't know
Yes,
why, because
yes. Because I think when you first start out, it's it's all about you, and
exactly.
it's not about anybody else, and it's
Mhm.
about something that you like. But then once you start going into trying to do it professionally,
Mhm.
then you start to look at
Things
everybody
change.
else,
Yep. Mhm.
and yeah,
It
it's just
becomes it becomes competition.
yes,
Yeah.
and I I think like competition, especially in this industry, you're gonna get so damn tired
Mhm.
because eventually
Literally.
you'll wear yourself out to the point to where it's like you're never gonna feel like you're good enough for
Yeah, because you're
somebody.
doing it for somebody else and not for you.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
And like a lot of times, even with dancing, like it's just really you showing your personality,
Mhm.
and you just explaining to people like who you are, regardless of what performance you're
Exactly.
in.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you answer this or not, but how do you protect yourself from feeling that way all the
Mhm.
time?
Yeah, kind of like what I said, like prayer,
Mm-hmm.
centering myself, and I talk to myself a lot. I journal. I
Mm-hmm.
do all those type of therapeutic things to
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to myself
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, when I did move out here, it was challenging, but
Mm-hmm.
you get to learn like who your people are,
Mm-hmm.
people that actually understand you, and
Mm-hmm.
people who are there for you genuinely, aside
Mm-hmm.
from all the other shit. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
that importance too, and like I said, really God and centering myself
Mm-hmm.
for sure, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of different energies out here, and
Yes,
sometimes
yes.
it can be very overpowering and a
Mm-hmm.
little frightening. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, definitely just protecting my peace,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing what my purpose is, why I'm doing what I do, and
Mm-hmm.
really not caring about anything else. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I've mastered that in the last couple of years. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this person may not like this, but I'm just like, okay, that doesn't mean it's the end for me. I'm
Yeah,
still gonna push
yeah,
it because I still want to do it. Because
yeah,
it's like if you're doing things that you don't want to do, it's really not
yeah,
necessarily gonna be
yeah.
successful. So.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you feel so far as support
Mm-hmm.
within your dance journey?
That's a interest.
Yeah, I
that's a
said you asking the good questions.
that's a interesting. See, and that's the thing. I don't want to like
Hmm.
downplay the Atlanta,
But let's be real.
dance
We
community or
gotta be
anything,
real.
but I had high expectations when I came out here
Hmm.
too, because I'm like I said, the black scene, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh, it's so many, opportunities, it's so much talent out here, but
Hmm.
like I said, I mentioned too the competition, the
Hmm.
jealousy,
Yep.
people feeling like, oh, you're stepping on my toes, or oh, you
Hmm.
can't do this because
Hmm.
this is not what's here. But it's like
Hmm.
I come from a different world. Like
Yeah.
a lot of dancers out here that I've noticed have, born and raised out here, and they train
Hmm.
with the same people for years and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, because it's like realistically, that's the type of vibe that I came from too, building up
Yeah.
and dancing with some of the same people, the same teacher for years,
Hmm.
and that's really ultimately how you grow.
Yeah.
So I feel like everybody comes from different, stories, lives, and all those
Hmm.
things. And at times it's like the support is there, and then other times, like I said, it's a competition thing. And it's like
Yeah.
when it comes to business, or it comes to these auditions, sometimes people just switch their brain to like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm not your friend right now. This is business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that was something that was very like crushing to me. But I had to
Hmm.
understand like this is a type of industry, so
Yeah.
you have to expect those things, but also know how to move through them.
Yeah.
So it's either hit or miss. I have my group of people we
Hmm.
support each other
Yeah. Yeah.
wholeheartedly, and then like I said, it's here and there, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's horrible, but it is a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
it's some
Yeah.
cattiness, and sometimes
Yeah.
rivals and things like that,
Yeah.
that I don't really like getting into. So for the
Yeah.
most part, I support myself. I know the people
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
are supporting me,
Yeah.
and I pour into them. Anybody else who feels
Yeah.
different, I don't even pay them no mind.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Because I think for me, like I said, with competition, it also feels like no one, sometimes it really feels like you're by yourself
yeah,
all the time, and it's
mhm.
like sometimes it's like, damn, I don't want to be by myself all
I
the
want
time.
people to
I
come
want
with
to be
me.
able to
Yeah,
come with
mhm,
me. I don't want it to just always be about competition all the time. Like I want us to be able to build and grow together.
mhm.
But one thing I realize is that's just not the reality of people, and it has nothing to do with you. It's
Exactly.
all internal,
Mhm,
because you have some people that doubt themselves, don't feel like that they're good enough, and then what ends up happening is they end up turning that into competition to try to
mhm.
make themselves be good
And the whole
enough.
time they were already good enough. You
They
were already
already
booking
were.
these jobs or being
Yeah,
successful, or people know who you are. And then
yeah,
yeah, sometimes sometimes that really is that like some of the most successful people, they doubt themselves and things
Yeah.
like that, but
Yeah.
sometimes they're so talented that it overpowers and it doesn't really
Yeah.
defeat them.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
is still something that like needs to be talked about for sure.
Yeah. What is the most inspirational work that you've been a part of that like changed your mindset, your trajectory?
Okay, so I will take it back to my high school days.
Mm,
And unfortunately, one of my dance mates, she, was killed in a hit and run. Um,
mm. I'm sorry to hear
and
about that.
yeah, so, she was a part of our dance company.
Mm,
So all of us, we came together and we created a dance. We created a whole dance showcase,
mm,
for her. And that was something very meaningful to me because that was the first um, time where I was in a dance space throughout all the years that I've been dancing where
mm,
we lost, somebody.
mm,
Um, so it was definitely hard. It was
mm,
challenging. It was, of course, very emotional, but
mm,
being able to portray that message and tell a
mm,
story, through dance was very
mm,
powerful for me. Um,
mm.
and it was just like, oh, this is a talent. This is
Yeah.
this is more than just what people in the crowd see. Like,
Yeah.
it's a God given gift, and it's
Yeah.
like having
Because
that
you actually have to
opportunity.
embody
Yeah.
the
So,
story. Yeah.
and then even though like we were all sad and it was very very hard, but we danced
Mm,
so beautifully, and
yeah.
that's what things like that are important to me. Like, yeah,
Mm,
okay, I might be on TikTok and stuff like that, but it's like those moments are important to me because it's like
yeah.
when I step on this stage, it's an ultimate purpose. Like, what are
Mm,
we here for? What is the message? Are we moving people? Are people understanding? Like, so my favorite thing is like when I used to perform and stuff back in high school and college too, like
mm,
seeing the audience is crying or they're coming up to me and say, oh my god,
mm.
like that to me is like gold. Like, I don't care
Yes.
about 50
Yes.
million likes
Yes.
or none of that. Like,
Yeah.
if you were able to tell me you sat in this stage in person and saw me dance and it moved you. But it's
Mm,
like also too, I am realizing, like you said, through some of my videos and things like that, people
yeah.
can still feel that. So
Yeah.
I definitely feel like that
Yeah.
doing that performance,
Mm,
dedication performances. We actually did another one too to somebody else.
mm,
That had passed throughout our school, but doing those type of
mm.
tributes was meaningful because I'm like, yes, it's hard, and
Yeah.
but it's like this is what we do. We have
Mm,
this talent to be able to relate a message and give thanks to people, whether it's a funeral or
mm,
things like that. So yeah, that's when it comes like deeper than the
yeah.
surface level for me.
And I
Hmm.
think one of the things that I've seen most importantly about dancers is that they have to be very vulnerable,
All the time,
like all the time.
all the
Like
time.
you cannot dance and not show emotion. Like
Exactly.
you have to give it all and you can't
Hmm.
hide anything. So, what advice could you say you could give to people that are starting out dancing and
Hmm.
that are already dancing?
Do it for fun.
Yes.
Overall, do it for fun. Don't do
Hmm.
it for anybody else.
Hmm.
And find out what your purpose is. Like,
Yeah.
why did you want to dance?
Hmm.
And there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be times where you thought you did amazing and you still
Yeah.
won't get picked,
Hmm.
or you feel like you're not being seen, but you are being seen. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes everybody doesn't, or won't take that opportunity to tell you to your face. Like,
Yeah.
and that's okay. That doesn't
Yeah.
make you any less than, a dancer. Um, and yeah, I'm, like I said, the biggest thing is do what you love to do. If you love to
Yeah.
do it, keep thriving. And if it's meant for you to be successful in it, like
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
social media, fame and all those things, then you'll get
Yeah.
it. But doubts and all that is part of the process.
Yes. Yes.
Don't give up. Whatever you want to do,
Hmm.
anything artistic wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just keep going. Like,
Yeah.
don't give up on something, especially if you have a talent, because I'm realizing too, everybody is not talented. Some people
Everybody is
just
not.
don't have it, or they
Yeah.
didn't have that opportunity, or don't even know what their talents
Yeah, I
are.
really don't even understand it
Mhm.
because I think sometimes in general, like people really don't understand like creators in general, like dancers, artists, whether if you're working the camera, whether you're working sound, you're in charge of
Mhm.
telling a story.
Mhm.
So it's a whole lot more serious. Um, a, a real question that I wanted to ask, like when you are dancing, how do you learn to trust yourself with the dance moves? Because a lot of times it's like a lot of dance moves and you're having
Hmm.
to remember all of them. So how do you trust yourself in those moments when you dance?
Sorry. Um, that really comes with time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's things that like I've tried, and I was just like, hey, this audition or this rehearsal, and I'm just kind of trying it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's really about like trying new things and being confident within yourself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
having the confidence is like, okay, I may not be totally sure if this is going to look good to other people,
Mm-hmm.
or if, I can even do this move, but it's
Yeah.
like I'm going for it and I have that confidence.
Yeah.
So it really is a confidence thing. Like,
Yeah.
just trying shit pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
you really got to throw yourself out there.
Yeah.
So I feel like dancers know, like, especially dancers who like been dancing very young, like you literally just have to do it. Like, you literally
Mm-hmm.
just, you go in class, you might not know anything that they're saying, but
Mm-hmm.
you're following along. You're just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna try it, and next thing you
Mm-hmm.
know, you're like, oh, I actually can do this. Like, this,
Yeah.
it's not as hard as I thought it was. But
Yeah.
really putting yourself out there and having an open mind, like,
Oh
not
yeah.
overthinking everything, even though
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
being like, okay, I can do this, and
Yeah.
I'm open to trying new things. I'm open to
Mm-hmm.
learning new things. So,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Um, let me see. Was This is an obvious question.
mhm.
Has there ever been people in your circle that have ever doubted you? And if they have doubted you, um, what let's start off with that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start off with that question first.
Um, there's been plenty of times where I felt like, people were doubting me, but
Mm-hmm.
also too, I got to look back and be like, what was I showing up as?
Mm-hmm.
So I will give it that now, as I'm older and I see things now,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, I feel like this person is doubting me, or I'm telling them I want something, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't think you're ready, and I'm getting upset,
Yeah.
and but I'm like, I haven't done the work, or I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
show up as if I was
Yeah.
ready. So,
Because the reason why I asked that is because a lot of times we search for external values.
mm-hmm,
Um, and a lot of times that can be very discouraging
mm-hmm.
because if you do want to do something and you do ask a person, you kind of have to distinguish that that's
Their
their
opinion and
opinion,
their view of it,
but
exactly.
it doesn't change the fact of what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm,
And I think a lot of us get so caught up in that all the
mm-hmm,
time, and a lot of people stop doing what they do because they're really seeking validation all the
mm-hmm,
time
mm-hmm,
instead of really seeking validation from them. Like even me, I had to stop doing that
mm-hmm.
because I realized it was harmful. It wasn't really helping me.
Yep.
And I think, it's always good to be open to other perspectives, but don't take that perspective as the answer.
The end all be all.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But yeah, I think, like I said, a lot of people just they they don't understand they don't understand the uniqueness of them,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes that can be a problem because society shifts you not to really think about yourself.
Exactly.
Um, Let me
Yeah,
see.
that's real for sure. I definitely see that happening a lot.
And then I have another question. Hmm. So, what are your future plans
Mm-hmm.
with dance? Like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
So this is a little like off track
Mm-hmm.
dance, but I
Mm-hmm.
am a newly doula.
Yes,
So
yes.
I've really been enjoying doing that. I've been doing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of postpartum work,
Mm-hmm.
and I do want to definitely get myself out there as
Mm-hmm.
far as like doing more births and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, my business is called Nurtured by Alexis on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm focusing mainly on postpartum right now, but
Mm-hmm.
where I actually came from today, I was actually assisting a children dance retreat. So
Wow.
I really see myself, especially after today, like dancing more with children.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I feel like I've kind of shied away for that for a little while because I
Yeah.
was training in the industry and things like that, just focusing on that. But
Mm-hmm.
I do still have the goal of like wanting to perform with celebrities, be on
Mm-hmm.
the award shows and things like that, of
Yeah.
something, that has always had a goal to meet. But
Mm-hmm.
realistically, long-term rods, and especially as I'm, about to get into my 30s very
Oh,
soon.
period, period, period. You don't even look like it,
I know
child.
I'm 27. I'll be 28 this
Lord,
year.
wow.
Yeah, I really want to feed into the children more because it's like
Mhm.
I see it like most of these kids out here. I'm like, I wish I was as nice. You hitting that step, and I was
Yeah.
looking a mess when I was your
Yeah.
age. So it's like
Yes.
the kids are definitely like
Yeah.
talented, the new generations and things like that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I do want to have my own dance school
Oh
at
yeah.
some point. Like,
Absolutely.
um, not really like um, copying off of Debbie Allen, but she
Oh
inspires
yeah.
me a lot. So it's like
Yeah.
I definitely want something like that.
Mhm.
With other things, and once it comes out, you guys will all see. But
Yes.
yeah, really just teaching children, focusing on my doula business,
Mhm.
and really just finding out what I want to do with dance. Like,
Mhm.
yes, still being in the industry, but also knowing like, oh, I can teach this, or I can still train in my technique. So I'm really still finding myself, but now as an adult
Mhm.
within dance. And it's like, how can I serve? It's not just about me, like I know how to do these splits or
Yeah.
these tricks and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but what is my purpose? Like, what can I give to
Mhm.
somebody else? What advice can I teach these kids?
Mhm.
And they build up with longevity and be like, oh, Miss Alexis, she was the best, like that,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
I really want to like have longevity, and then you know uh, um not necessarily a purpose, but
Mhm.
an impact on other
Mhm.
people. Like,
Yeah.
that's really where I am in this aspect of my life right now, especially with doula and being a doula. Like, I
Mhm.
really am serving other people, so but
Mhm.
not in a way that's draining me. So that's
Mhm.
what's important for me,
How did you get into that?
being a doula.
Mhm.
So I was
Because I've
actually
never heard of that. And when you first
really
told me, I was like, "What the hell is
a
that?"
doula?
But
No, it's so funny because people
yeah.
say the same thing. They're like, "Oh, what a doula now? I'm midlife." I'm like, it's kind of but
Mhm.
I was working at a school and I was an infant teacher.
Mhm.
Um, it was a lot going on with that, but I
Mhm.
was an infant teacher. Most of the time, I was their primary teacher. I had what, 6, 8 babies by myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was a lot. But one of my coworkers actually told me, she was like, "Hey, like, you're doing such a great job. Have you ever
Mhm.
thought about being a doula?" And I'm like, I've heard the term and things like that, but never thought
Mhm.
about it. So I started doing more research, and I
Mhm.
was also a nanny before I started working at the school. So I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. And I was like, wow, I was already doing postpartum,
Mhm.
doula work and didn't know it. So
Mhm.
I found this program called DNT Network,
Mhm.
Doulas Nurturing and Traditions Network,
Mhm.
online, and it took me a couple months to finish that. So I got certified as a birth and postpartum doula, and ever
Mhm.
since then, I just really been like putting myself forward with that,
Mhm.
gaining clients, still trying to figure things out.
Mhm.
And yeah, as of right now, I'm my own business owner, so it's like I'm
Period.
still working on things with that, but
Mhm.
my other intention is like I don't want to have to go into another job that has nothing to do with what I am doing
Yes.
long term.
And let's talk about that.
I'm not doing that no
Yes,
more.
yes. Let's
Like,
let's get into that because that is everybody's struggle. I
yeah.
don't care who the hell your ass is. This
Mhm.
is gonna be your struggle,
Mhm.
or it already is.
Yeah.
But tell me really about like because sometimes it is so hard to work a 9 to 5. And the thing about it is that yes, it's providing me financial security, but I do not want to do this shit.
It's draining
Yes,
me. Yeah, I understand.
like yeah, talk about that because we yeah
So I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to me, like, I'm quick to quit a job.
yes, child.
I'm
I done
very
had
quick.
about 13 jobs, and I'm 23.
Yeah, like,
Mm,
and it doesn't always look good. And I feel like, especially these last couple of years, being
mm,
here in Atlanta really just humbled me a lot, because it's
yeah,
like, too, this is the entertainment state. This is the place to be.
mm,
So it's like, coming here too, I really had to lock in. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm training in dance.
mm,
I'm maybe still teaching. I'm doing all
mm,
these things. I'm going on all these auditions and stuff, and
mm,
then I'm at this job too. And it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, in a way it did help me, to get closer to my doula business. But
Mhm.
even still, it's like jobs way before then. I worked at the airport. I've done so many
Yeah.
different things, and it's like, why am I doing this? And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for the
Yeah.
money, but it's like, okay, I don't want to have
Yeah.
to feel that way. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm giving all my hours to
Mhm.
this, and it's like I'm drained all day, and then it's
Yeah.
time for me to go to rehearsal, and I'm
Yeah.
drained, and it's like
Yeah.
I can't fully show up because mentally I'm gone.
Yeah.
But it's like I still have to show up and perform. And
Yeah.
granted, that is any talented person, but I had to sit back and just realize, like, what do you really want to do? Are you
Yeah.
willing to, do this? It's going to be hard regardless. It's going to be hard if you work a 9 to 5 and you're still trying to do your talents on the side.
Mhm.
It's going to be hard if you're full time in your career,
Yeah.
and it's still going to be like some type of friction no matter what. That's part of growth. But
Yeah.
for me, I just had a realization. I was like, I can do more. I'm more than
Yeah.
just working this 9 to 5, or how people say we're supposed to live our life. Working
Yeah.
9 to 5, you do this, you come home, you cook, clean, go to bed, do it. No, I'm not in a hamster wheel. I don't like
Yeah.
feeling like
Yeah.
I'm in a simulation and I have to keep doing the same thing every day. I've always been a very spontaneous and kind of
Yeah.
pop up and do this,
Yeah.
like, because we are still human at the end of the day,
Mhm.
but it's like we do have a lot of free will. So it's
Yeah.
like, if I don't want to be at this job every single day, and it's making me pull out
Mm-mm.
my hair, it's making
Yeah.
me cry when I get in
Yeah.
the car, that's not the place I want to be. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe funding my finances, but
Yeah.
as long as it took me working all these jobs, I can take that same time and
And build
put
on
it
yourself.
into my
Yeah.
talent and my careers
Yeah.
and still make money off of it.
Yeah.
So it really is, I feel like, a money thing. Everything is
Yeah.
just very high and expensive
Yeah.
nowadays, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to find that balance. But
Yeah.
I just want people to know, like, you can do it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
hard regardless, but if
Yeah.
it's something that you're really passionate about, it is gonna be successful.
Yeah.
So
And then, because a lot of people get at this point, like when you are working a regular 9 to 5 job and
mhm,
doing what is in your purpose and what God is calling you to do. And I'm like in this stage now to where I'm at the point to where I'm just noticing that I'm pulling more and more and more away from the 9 to 5.
mhm,
Like I'm pulling so much from it because it's really like I think when you start when you continue to do the things that you want to do,
mhm,
you start to learn your purpose, you start to learn who you are, you really start to really learn your worth.
mhm, and
And when
yourself, yeah,
yeah, and when you start to learn your worth overpowers what
what they feel like the standard has to be,
exactly.
yeah,
And so eventually it ends up to a point to where you end up being emotionally depleted
mhm,
to the point to where now you're going to end up forcing yourself to leave the
mhm,
job. I'm at
exactly.
that point already and I'm kind of scared, but
Do
I
it scared.
think yeah,
Do it
sometimes you
scared.
got to do it scared in order to learn. You got to bust your ass a little bit.
Mhm.
But one thing I just realized cuz with me I quit a lot of damn jobs, and my mom would always be like,
Mad.
"Oh, like she would be mad as fuck," because she'd be like, "Why the fuck did you just quit this job?" She would always ask me like, "Okay,
I don't
how's
want
your
to do
job
it.
going?" Yeah,
I don't want to do it no more.
she'll be so disappointed, but I had to realize, like, I had to tell her like, this is not
Helping
me.
me,
It's not
yeah,
helping me.
mentally, emotionally,
And then
physically.
a lot of times with these jobs, they don't give a damn.
They don't.
They don't care what you got to do. They want one
They
hundred
don't
percent
care
of your attention. They feel like the
because you
job
are
is
their
your life.
paycheck. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, like the job is your life, and a lot of times that's a struggle.
Mhm.
Um, so, what advice do you have for people that are transitioning into
Mhm.
that or want to transition?
Like I said, do it scared.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like, what did I just do?
Mm-hmm.
But I think those are the perfect times where you have to lean on God the most and have faith,
Mm-hmm.
because ultimately too, like we both said, we're artists, and we're
Yeah.
creative. So when you
Mm-hmm.
already have that gift, that's already something that you can lean on.
Yeah.
Most people are like, oh, I'm not gonna leave this 9 to 5, even though it's killing me every single day because I don't have
Yeah.
any alternative.
Yeah.
So it's like we, in a sense, are gifted and
Mm-hmm.
chosen because we have talents, and everybody
Yeah.
doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So really doing it scared,
Yeah.
trying to plan. I would say I used to be really bad when it came to that planning, but as
Mm-hmm.
far as like quitting jobs, but in a sense I kind of did plan for myself,
Mm-hmm.
because I sat with myself and was like, is this helping me mentally?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how does this
Yeah.
at the end of my day, does it feel like I need to go roll up or get
Yeah.
something to drink because I'm
Yeah.
so stressed out from the day. Like I
Yeah.
don't want to have to feel that way. I want to leave any place that I'm,
Yeah.
involved in and be like, wow, that was a great feeling. This
Yes.
filled me up. I
Yes.
might not have had a great day today, but this
Mm.
filled me up and it gave
Mm.
me, power. So really figuring out who you are, what you want, what your standards
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
boundaries, all of those things. It's that inner work, but
Mm.
you definitely got to do things scared and not saying
Yeah.
like do things like um not even spontaneous like but abruptly,
Mm.
but really just paying attention to who you are and
Yeah.
going for it because
Yeah.
like I said, we are chosen to the point where we have alternatives and everybody doesn't. So it's
Mm.
like when you have a plan B, it's always like, okay, I do have something to fall back on. If
Mm.
it doesn't work out, guess what, I can go back to the drawing board, but I still
Yeah.
know I have this talent that I can
Mm.
grow and work on to where if I needed to quit my job
Yeah.
today and I'm still successful in this tomorrow. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really just taking that leap of faith for sure.
Mm.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So my last question:
Mhm.
what do you want people to know about you?
Mhm.
Like, what is the one thing that really just you want people to really truly know?
I mean, for me, I'm very like just how I'm talking to you. Like I'm
Mhm.
very open and honest.
Mhm.
I'm very like understanding. So I
Yeah.
feel like I'm one of those people where most people may think that I will react a certain way to certain things, but once
Mhm.
you really get to know me and you have conversations and
Yeah.
talking with me, you're like, oh wow, like I literally can tell her anything, even if I can come to her if I have an issue with her. I'm not,
Yeah. Yeah.
things like that. So I'm
Yeah.
very open and honest. I love to talk. I love to pick
Yes.
people's brains. I'm
Yes.
very understanding, and
Mhm.
I'm just really in a space where everything around me is peaceful. So it's just like
Yes.
if you can't, meet me there or
Mhm.
you be higher than that, I really don't
Exactly.
want you around me. But
Yeah.
like I said, I pretty much wear my personality on my sleeves. Like
Mhm.
if you get a chance to talk to me, you're gonna feel like who I am and
Oh yeah,
what my
absolutely.
standards are and things
Mhm.
like that. So I mean, that's just me in a nutshell. I'm fun. I'm a little crazy. I can get a little
Mhm.
ghetto, but
Mhm.
deep down, like I'm really am down to earth. Like I
Mhm.
love God. I have strong faith. I'm very spiritual,
Yes.
and I'm just open and honest. I'm eager to meet new people, make new
Mhm.
connections, because we got to stick together,
We do.
especially yeah.
We do.
Mhm.
We do. Well, it's been fun,
Yes.
but it is a wrap.
Mhm.
Thank you guys for tuning in into this episode with Alexis. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to you
Yeah.
guys
Bye.
later.
Suck it
Bye
out.
y'all.